This is Steve Prator, Sheriff of Caddo Parish, and there's something I wanted to talk to you about today in our first episode. And I wanted to explain something to you. I wanted to announce an exciting initiative that we in law enforcement feel like is going to help make you safer. We're going to begin to enforce window tinting. Now, there's many agencies across Louisiana, in fact most agencies, they do enforce this. In our area, it's somewhat been ignored except by the state police. And window tinting is a state law that your windows, not only your side windows, but your back window cannot be to a certain percentage of tint. And there's some reasons for this. It's been a law for a number of years. And the reasons are what's important, what I'd like you to hear. The reason number one that I think that we ought to be doing this and that I'm excited about getting this done is for my deputies' safety. Can you imagine if you had to stop a car in the middle of the night, which would probably be scary enough to you, you're alone and you don't know how many passengers you're stopping. You don't know, you know there's a driver because you're stopping it naturally, but you don't know who else is in the car because the windows are tinted so darkly. So it's for officer deputy safety, which is extremely important. It's also for the safety, and it's a shame that we have to stop somebody and cause them or force them to do something that will make them be able to drive better. But in this case, it is extremely difficult to see your rear view mirrors that are on the outside of your doors if your windows are tinted. I know this, I've tried to do it before. I've sat in cars that had dark windows tinted, and you cannot see what's coming, and you cannot see to back up. So it's not only a deputy safety issue, it's also a driver safety issue. You got to admit, also another issue would be how it conceals illegal conduct. You can be in a vehicle, and this has happened, and this does happen, and you could have 4 people, 5, 6 people in there, all with guns, loading their guns, holding their guns up. They could have ski masks on, they could be in there smoking dope, they could be transporting all sorts of illegal items. They could be doing anything, holding someone kidnapped. There's all sorts of behavior that could be masked by these dark windows. And it's really a shame that there are a lot of good people that will get caught up in this, because there's good people that bought a used car, for instance, and it's too dark. Or there's some people that went to get dark tint on their windows, and they're supposed to have been explained by the company that puts them in that the legal limits are this, and if you make a choice to put in an illegal tint, then I'm sorry that you got caught up in what we're having to do to keep people safer. If we didn't think that we really needed to do this for deputy safety and for your safety and well-being, we wouldn't be doing it, because we're not doing it for revenue, certainly. I don't even know what a ticket costs for this tinting. I have no idea what it costs, but I do know about what we would get out of it, because a speeding ticket, for instance, that could be anywhere to $300, and the sheriff's office gets less than $12. Our budget is about $70 million. Can you imagine how many tickets at $12 a piece we would have to give to get that much money? We don't do anything for revenue. There's no quotas. The deputies are simply getting another tool in their toolbox that is going to allow them to address possible illegal activity that is occurring inside the vehicle, and to help to make us with safer streets, safer communities, less intimidation. Many people, and I get calls and questions, I get questions at speeches quite often, why don't you do something about the loud music and the dark windows? And so, being a state law, it's hard for me to defend not doing something. So there's reasons, there's calculated reasons that we decide to do things like this. And rest assured, our deputies are out there, they are out there making calls, they're working domestic situations, they're looking for suspects, they're looking for burglars, they're looking for all sorts of things, they're patrolling and they're doing all sorts of things, and they won't stop doing that in order to enforce tint violations. This is just another tool in our toolbox. As I said before, if we didn't really think that this was something that we needed to do to address violent crime, then we wouldn't be doing it. Do you realize how many vehicles that have been seized in dope deals and in drive-by shootings and such that had dark windows? And the reason that these particular individuals had dark windows was to conceal illegal activity. You feel much safer if you're going to shoot someone out of a vehicle if they can't see who's in the vehicle, witnesses can't see it, etc. So there's all sorts of reasons that we do that. So as we begin to announce this, and by the way, we want everyone to have plenty of time to have a grace period to get their windows changed if they have to, and I apologize for any problems that it causes a person that didn't realize it or bought a car and it was like that. I really do apologize, but it's just like if you had bought a car that had mufflers on it that were too loud, or that had something illegal on it and you had to correct it, and that's simply what this is. It's just time that we as a community understood that we need to be not only law-abiding, but we need to really care about what others think. And if I'm doing something that intimidates you, then I should cease that conduct, in my opinion, and let's all work together. Let's all get along, work together, do what's right, and make us have a safer community. Anyway, that's one reason I wanted to do this video as our first one, because I like you to see what's behind the decisions that we have to make, so that maybe you can understand that they're not just, oh, the police decided to do this to make our lives more difficult. That's not the way we work at the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office. We want to make your lives safer. And that's shooting straight. That's what this video is about. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to call us and let's talk about it. Let's give us a chance. Give us a chance to help make all of Caddo Parish safer.